In 1909, the first automobiles reached the remote north rim of the Grand Canyon, 7 years after the first one reached the south rim. The north rim at that time was difficult to get to, over rugged wagon roads, and had only a few scattered cabins for cattle ranchers. That year there were only about 900 cars and trucks in all of Utah. Dee Woolley and his Grand Canyon Transportation Company had been trying to entice tourists to travel to the north rim. He brought some of them by horseback and wagons, including a Utah senator, hoping to get support for the creation of an automobile road to the North Rim. Woolley prophesied that thousands of tourists would someday visit the canyon by automobile. Woolley persuaded his nephew Gordon Woolley, a broker from Salt Lake City, to conduct a publicity stunt by driving his car all the way to the North Rim. Gordon had recently purchased a 6-cylinder, 50-horsepower Thomas Flyer. It was reported,
as soon as his friends knew of his foolhardy intentions, they flocked around the nephew. His phone rang unceasingly, friends and acquaintances trying to prevail on him not to undertake so foolish an adventure.
Preparations were made for many weeks before the trip. Uncle Woolley sent out men and teams to fix the worst places on the Kaibab forest roads. Caches of 10 gallons of gasoline were placed every 30 miles to fill up along the way. Gordon Woolley convinced his brother-in-law, David Affleck, to join him, driving his locomobile, the first water-cooled car with a front-mounted engine. In the party were also the two men's wives and Woolley's 4 children. They left Salt Lake City, Utah, on June 19, 1909. They planned for a 3-week trip of 430 miles. They made excellent time until reaching central Utah, where the roads to the south had not yet been improved for automobiles. In fact, it was the first time that automobiles had been seen in southern Utah.
In every town, a commotion arose as the 2-car caravan approached. People ran to inspect the noisy contraptions. Stockmen abandoned herds, farmers neglected chores, women left kitchens, and children darted around in shrill excitement.
They happily gave townspeople their first car rides. As gasoline supplies ran low, the telegraph was used to request that more cans of gas be sent to the south. They averaged about 6 miles per gallon. When one vehicle got stuck, the other pulled it out. They were delayed 3 days along the way for repairs when transmission shafts were bent.
Tires were given a merciless grueling by the rough roadway. 5 new tires and tubes for each machine were all rendered practically worthless.
Reaching Kanab after 5 days, the entire population, men, women and children, went out for miles to meet the car.
Uncle D mounted the engine, swung his hat in the air and rode triumphantly into town. The crowd soon gathered around to touch, just to look at so mysterious a contraption.
From Kanab, saddle horses, pack animals, tent supplies, wagons and guides joined the expedition for the final rugged 100 miles. At times the route could hardly be called a road at all. In the forest, they had to cut down trees at turns to let the long-bodied machines to get through. Woolley reported,
"Our chief trouble all along was taking out high centers, which could be negotiated with a wagon all right, but which we had to remove. We dug out hundreds of stumps."
After a total of 9 days, with nearly 40 hours of driving time, they reached the North Rim at Bright Angel Point, the first automobiles to accomplish this feat. The return trip was much easier and took only 4 days. The published report of their excursion immediately inspired others to make similar trips. In 2022, more than 130,000 vehicles drove to the North Rim.
This video was written and produced by Davy Crockett for the Grand Canyon Historical Society. Visit us at grandcanyonhistory.org. Help us continue to preserve and share the history of Grand Canyon by becoming a member of the Society. Also, use the subscribe button below to receive more videos like this one.